Caden awoke in his bed and realized he was late for school again. Gah! I'm late! This is the second day this week! He hurriedly splashed his face, brushed his teeth, got dressed, and dashed downstairs. Where's Mom? He asked. He didn't see her as he passed the kitchen. Oh well, he thought, maybe she had to run an errand. Kazan was waiting outside with the usual frustrated expression on his face. I have a test today in first period, you know, said Kazan. Sorry, Kaz, said Caden. If we skate fast, we can still make it. At a nearby construction site, there was a man named Bruce Walters. He was a hard worker, one of the best on his team, but today he felt a bit funny. Bruce, are you all right? Asked his boss. Yeah, I just have to sit down for a bit. You don't look good. Go ahead and clock out, said his boss. No, that's okay. I need the money. I'll make sure you get paid leave. Just get some rest. Normally, Bruce would have happily obliged, but he had just not been himself lately. He would often feel sick to his stomach or lightheaded and forget what he had just done. And that's not all. He would do things and say things that he would not have normally said. Bruce just stood there with a rather disturbing blank expression. Bruce, are you all right? Caden and Kazan were skating by the construction site. They did not notice what was going on. Cool! Construction! Shouted Caden. We're going to be even later! Shouted Kazan, and they skated off. Bruce, said the boss. Bruce grabbed his boss by the collar with both hands and lifted him off the ground with abnormal strength. Bruce's eyes gave a red flicker. Bruce is not here, he said with a very different personality. If someone were to look closely, they would notice that behind one of the pillars of the construction site stood a cloaked figure. Beneath the hood of the cloak emerged a wicked grin. No, he's not, the cloaked figure said, and quickly vanished. Left behind on the pillar was a strange chemical that ate away at the cement. What's this crap? Asked one of the nearby construction workers. Looks like acid, said another. Better call someone. You don't want to touch that. One of the workers who noticed the acid also noticed that their boss was being thrown quite a distance away across the premises. He smashed into one of the construction trucks with a metallic thud and leaving a dent behind, and then he fell to the ground. Hey! Shouted the worker. Bruce, what are you doing? How many times do I have to tell you I don't know Bruce? Shouted Bruce. But what I do know... With a flash of red light, Bruce's clothing was replaced by a gray skin-tight suit with a black bar down the center and a cape reaching to his waist. Is that you're in my way? He raised his hands into the air and several different forms of dirt and soil mixed together from the land around him to form a rather large block of bricks, which hovered in the air. Brick storm! He shouted, and the large block exploded into several fragments, which heavily damaged much of the area around Bruce. Some of the fragments flew towards the construction workers, who ran for cover. A few of them were hit and ran to nurse their bleeding wounds. Bring me to my adversary, shouted the possessed Bruce. Bring me to Super Kadabra. One of the workers emerged from behind a wall to say, We don't know who that is, boss. Go creep somewhere else. Then I will kill you for now. I don't think so, came a voice from behind Bruce. He turned to see who it was. There was Super Kadabra, dressed in his green suit and holding his rod with gold rings and a red gem. Super Kadabra! I am Super Brick, the second Dark Super! Come and challenge me! Super Kadabra knew what to do. He leaped in front of Super Brick and aimed his rod at Super Brick's stomach. Then he shouted, Kadabra, Mystic R! But was cut off as a powerful punch hit him from the side and sent him flying across the dirt. Super Brick had seen this coming and punched out of reflex. Ugh, said the construction worker from before. Is the hero supposed to lose? Super Kadabra used his hands to push himself off the ground. He was now covered in dirt. He spat some dirt from his mouth. Run! He shouted at the workers. I'll hold him off! The workers, although a bit ashamed to leave a fight like this to a kid, ran quickly off the premises. More bricks flew at Super Kadabra. He leaped off the ground and used his rod to deflect some of them. I'm surprised it didn't break, he thought, looking at the rod. Brick storm! Shouted Super Brick while sending more bricks flying at Super Kadabra. I can't even get near him, thought Super Kadabra, as he ran and dodged the bricks. This isn't going to get anywhere. Super Brick charged forward at Super Kadabra and aimed a powerful uppercut at his stomach, which Kadabra avoided by dodging to the side. But it was followed by a brick that was concealed in Super Brick's other hand, which smashed into Super Kadabra's chest. Gah! He shouted, but he noticed that what would have normally hurt quite a bit did not hurt him as badly when he was Super Kadabra. Nevertheless, Super Kadabra's rod flew away from him, and next, Super Brick aimed a punch at Kadabra's face, which Kadabra blocked with his arms. This was followed by another brick, which smashed into Kadabra's leg, then another, which smashed into one of his arms. This punishment continued for a while, until finally, Super Kadabra, now a mangled mess, skidded across the dirt and just laid there.
Wahahaha! This is Super Kadabra, not so super, shouted Super Brick with a malevolent grin.
Emphian arrow! Came a shout from the distance, and a golden arrow of light flew into the heart of Super Brick. In the name of Kadabra, you have been judged! Standing on top of one of the trucks was Super Enfius in his golden suit with a black stripe down the middle and a cape. Super Brick staggered backward. No words left his mouth. He appeared to be trying to stay conscious. No! Shouted Super Kadabra. We should have purified him, not killed him! As you can see, said Super Enfius coldly, he was quite determined to be our enemy. I'm not weak like you. If they side with the dark, I'll kill them without hesitation. Enfius, said Super Kadabra, hurt.
Kill me, said Super Brick, with that little dart.
Super Brick grabbed the arrow in his hand and smashed it with ease in his fist. He appeared quite unharmed. That's impossible! That was an arrow of judgment, said Super Enfius.
Your arrow is child's play compared to your predecessor. It's full of hate. To creatures of darkness like me, it's only an afternoon snack.
Super Brick became much larger and much more buff. He reached his hands to his side and formed two large blocks of bricks, then aimed them at Super Kadabra and Super Enfius. One at Kadabra and one at Enfius. Enfius arrow! Shouted Super Enfius, and disintegrated the bricks that were aimed at him with expert precision. Yeah! Shouted Super Kadabra, as he tried to make a run for it. Another golden arrow disintegrated the bricks that were aimed at him. What a useless rival, shouted Enfius. On second thought, give that rod back! Super Enfius leaped over to where Kadabra's rod was laying on the ground. Then he reached to pick it up, but was rejected by an electrical green energy. Darn! Shouted Enfius. Take your crappy rod! He kicked the rod towards Super Kadabra, who caught it in midair and aimed it at Super Brick. Kadabra! Mystic Aura! He shouted. The sparkling mist launched from the rod and hit Super Brick in the face. He appeared conflicted. He was wrestling with something deep within himself.
No, I am...
Do it again! Shouted Super Enfius. Just wait a minute! Shouted Super Kadabra. The sparkles traveled all over Super Brick's body, and he eventually fell to the ground in a heap. He decreased in size. Now's my chance! Shouted Super Enfius. Enfian air! But he was interrupted by a ball of green light, which appeared in front of his face.
Tisk, tisk, said a high, squeaky voice. You have much to learn about the ways of Kadabra, Super Enfius. Or should I say, Super Enfius II.
Who are you? Asked Super Enfius.
One who watches from the shadows. I have come to train my pupil.
Then you're...
Begone, said the squeaky voice.
Super Enfius was transported somewhere by teleportation, somewhere unknown.
Super Kadabra, I thank you,
said Super Brick. His gray uniform was now a brick red, with a black stripe down the middle and a cape.
I will now return to where I truly belong, but first...
He raised his hands and returned the construction site to normal.
Ah, and one more thing. Someone who is near to you will soon betray you. Beware their poison.
Who are you talking about? Asked Super Kadabra.
I don't know, I just remembered that much. Good luck.
Huh? Super Brick disappeared, but the glowing green ball remained. It floated to the ground and flashed, and in its place was a wrinkly old man with gray hair. He was holding an emerald cane.
My pupil, he said.
His voice was no longer high or squeaky.
It's time you learned how to fight for real. But for this to happen, I must ensure that you do not lose your memories when you transform. Hold still while I remove your seal.
Okay, Gramps, Super Kadabra said. The old man held up his right hand and waved it to the side as if breaking a cord. Super Kadabra felt a warm feeling rush through him. His transformation went away. He was now back to Caden.
And now, said the old man, one final precaution to ensure that I am not discovered.
With a poof of smoke, the old man turned into a small green teddy bear. Although he was a stuffed bear, he could still move his mouth and limbs, and also talk. His high-pitched voice returned.
Take me with you wherever you go, because who knows when the Dark Ones will strike again. Also, you will be unable to transform until you complete your training, Caden. Or should I say, Super Kadabra.
I have to be dreaming. Yep, this is all a dream. Soon I'll wake up and realize I had too much ice cream.
What is ice cream?
Never mind. And so Caden skated off the construction site and with his new stuffed bear, went to search for his friend Kazan. Kazan was long gone. I guess he went to class, Caden thought.